Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. So I am doing a somewhat rare Yankee candle review on my channel. As you guys know, I have been actively avoiding Yankee for a little while, the last few years, because the candles just kind of stopped performing the way that they had performed for years, which was great. I was not getting a scent throw. I was not getting any strength from them. They were just, Yankee candles honestly became kind of pointless to me because I couldn't smell them. I certainly love candles for ambiance, but I also utilize them as home fragrance. And so for me, if I can't smell a scented candle, then it's not really useful to me. So I had stopped purchasing for a number of years, but I've heard some really good things this year so far about the performance, and I'm also really intrigued by some of the new stuff that was coming out. So last weekend, if you missed it, I uploaded a Yankee candle haul last Sunday. I'll link that down below if you missed it, but the 60% off sale was happening for like the 60th anniversary of Yankee Candle. And so I went in and grabbed 4 candles. This was one of them. I think I paid like 11 bucks and change. So I figured if there were any duds in the batch, then that would be okay, because they weren't super expensive. So that was my reasoning. So also, I had picked up some of the melt cups in July of like the fall scents that were coming up, and they smelled so good, and it just reminded me that Yankee Candle does have some really great scents. So anyway, Blackberry candle, let's get to this because that's what this review is all about. I picked this up because several of my friends have it and they really liked it and said great things about just kind of the overall performance and the scent itself. I do tend to like tea scents, and so I figured this would be a great one to get as a transitional scent as we are heading into fall here. And on cold sniff, I really kind of liked it. I thought it was yummy, nice fruity kind of end of summer scent. So I've been burning this for the last few days. And I have to say, my experience with this is a little different from other people's experience with this candle. I'm not getting a whole lot from this when it's burning, which is kind of making me think, oh, please don't let the rest of these candles be duds either. I mean, like I said, they were on like kind of a super sale, so it's not the end of the world. I can always put it in my candle crock and it'll be fine. But I'm not getting a whole lot of strength and not a whole lot of throw from this. And let's talk about the scent description first, and then we'll get into like this throw and strength portion of it. So the notes on this bad boy are, let me pull them up here. Oh, not specifications. I'm looking for about fragrance. There we go. So their description is sweet, juicy berries meet an exotic tea blend with a hint of soothing rose water. Okay. So what I smell is actually more Concord grape than blackberry, which I wouldn't necessarily say the two are similar scents. I really get more of like a Welch's Concord grape juice note than blackberry. I was hoping for a really strong blackberry, but I can certainly smell some blackberry in there, but for some reason mine smells like grape juice, and that's not bad because I think this is a lovely scent. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think it's a lovely scent. But for me, it's more Concord grape, blackberry, and a hint of tea, and no hint of soothing rose water anywhere to be found. I'm not picking up any even remote aura or scent of rose in here at all. It's just not there for me. So I'm a little disappointed in the fact that I'm not smelling a blackberry tea like I anticipated that I would. But overall, it's still a nice scent. For me, that grape note is very predominant, and the tea note is definitely there, but it's not very strong. I wish it was just blackberry tea, but that's just not what I'm getting. So I have heard a couple of other people say that they also pick up kind of a grapey note in this as well. So I'm glad that my sniffer isn't totally broken. But it's a nice, lovely scent. I do still think, even with it being predominantly grape to me, it's still a nice transitional scent. So overall, like the scent appeal or like, you know, my like or love for it, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I think it's very nice. But let's talk about the performance because there's a couple issues here. So first off, this bad boy wants to tunnel like a mother. Obviously, I have an Alumilid on there, which helps. But even with the Alumilid, I have to leave this lit for hours and hours and hours in order for it to pull out. In fact, fun fact here, this has been lit since 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Last night, I just decided to put it in my kitchen sink because I didn't want to blow it out when I went to bed at 10:30 last night because it still wasn't completely pulled out. And I was like, dang it, I don't want this to tunnel. So I put it in my kitchen sink and just left it overnight. Right now, what time is it? It is almost noon. Noon the next day after lighting it at around 3 the day prior. And I'm pulled out, but I don't have a wax pool. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, there's no real pool. This is pretty solid here. This doesn't even feel very warm. You can see residue where it wanted to tunnel before. This is just not great in the performance department. On top of it, despite having this lit for so many hours and hours on end, I can't smell it except like when I'm standing right over it. The strength and the throw are about maybe a 2.5. Like I can be around the candle and smell it, but as soon as I step more than 5 feet away, it's like, where's the grapes? I can't smell it anymore. It's so disappointing. I will say I have also started burning the banana nut bread, and that one is far superior in terms of performance. And I only lit that one for like 5 hours, and that actually filled most of the downstairs of my house. So I can say that maybe this is just a bad batch here potentially, because other people have had really great results with this. Here's what I'm gonna do with this one. I'm probably gonna end up blowing it out and I'm just gonna put it in my candle crock. That's not how I wanted the life of this one to end. But I'm just telling you, I'm not getting a wax pool out of this. After burning it for like almost 24 hours at this point, I'm just not getting a wax pool. I'm not getting any strength from it really, and I'm not getting any throw from it. So I just don't think that I'm going to at any point. So I'm just gonna call this one a dud for me personally. A couple of people have said, go exchange it, because I've been asking some people like, am I doing something wrong? I realize it's been a while since I've burned a Yankee, but they're like, no, that it's probably a dud. It sounds like a dud because mine is nothing like that. So now I could also exchange it for, obviously, for the 2-wick tumbler, but I don't know. I don't want to do that to my store. I don't think that my particular Yankee candle store is doing super great. It's never very busy in there. And I go to a fairly busy mall, and every time I go in store, like there maybe is one other person in there when I go in, but oftentimes I'm in there by myself. So I just don't want to cause any unnecessary returns for them. And quite frankly, if I put it in my candle crock, I'm going to get a solid week of enjoyment out of this. And it'll be fine. But I certainly hope that my cider house and that my cranberry chutney, which I also picked up in that haul, do better than this, because I was really hoping that Yankee was able to turn it around. Now, I haven't sworn off Yankee completely because, quite honestly, I feel like the melt cups are going to be pretty darn great. I'm actually thinking about picking up another centerpiece. They have some really neat ones for fall. I'll link some of the ones that I'm thinking about snagging down below in the description box, along with a link to this one. The reviews on the website, by the way, are kind of a little bit hit and miss as well. So I feel like there might be the dreaded batch variation here, but I don't know. Yankee does have a pretty good return or exchange policy, so if you do get a dud, definitely think about taking it back and exchanging it and maybe trying it again if you really like the scent. I'm just not going to do it just because I don't want to cause a headache for my store. Honestly, the people that work there are just incredibly nice, and they've always been so sweet to me, and I don't know, I just don't want to be a jerk. And the candle was like $11, so I can deal with putting it in the crock. But anyway, what is your experience with blackberry tea? Do you smell grapes? Am I crazy? What's the performance on yours? I'm very curious. So let me know your thoughts down below. I hope that this review was helpful. Please subscribe if you're new. I hope to actually have my banana nut bread review up for you guys here in the next little bit as well. It might even go up right after this video. I'm actually recording this one on Tuesday, so by the time you see this has been recorded a while ago, and I'm gonna be working pretty diligently on the banana nut bread this week. So anyway, thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.